Today was absolutely dead at gym. I probably counted about 8 people in the whole of the gym. I was very surprised. I went a little bit later than I normally go because I had to go pick up my friend from the airport. And yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised because I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate training or going to a gym that's absolutely mad. So that was amazing. And it was leg day. So that was even better because even on a busy day nobody does legs because friends let their friends skip leg day, I guess. That being said, today I just want to quickly talk about keeping a journal. I literally don't see one person at gym keeping track of what they are doing. Maybe they just have the most amazing memory in the world, or maybe they're so good that they don't need to keep journals, but I believe that just like measuring yourself, just like weighing yourself, how are you really going to know if you're making progress if you don't keep track, if you don't journal on a daily, weekly, monthly basis as to what it is that you're doing? I find it almost comical that people don't do it. Maybe if you're like at an elite level you don't really have to do that anymore, probably, but if you're there to actually make progress, to actually do some transformation, whether it's lose weight, pick up weight, gain muscle, lose muscle, whatever the case is, I mean, you have to kind of know what it is that you're aiming for. You have to know what you did the day before or the week before. I mean, if you leg pressed 150 kilograms last week and you don't keep track of it, you get to gym and you're like, oh shit, was it 130, was it 150, was it 110? And then you load it up with 140 kilograms, which is less than what you did last week, and then you end up not really progressing and moving forward. And I just don't get that. I just don't understand why people don't do that. You'll notice in all of the videos, I literally look like I'm writing a bloody novel when I train, but I find it's so important. That's how I judge my own progress. That's how I see if I'm actually moving forward. In the past, I leg pressed 110 kilograms or whatever. Today I leg pressed, I think it was 50 reps over 4 sets, 200 kilograms. If I didn't keep a journal, I wouldn't know that I'm making the progress. And that's really what I want to urge you to start doing if you're not doing it already. And then, you know, the same goes for tracking your nutrition. I mean, yes, calorie counting on this nutrition program now, but I just do it for my own sanity because, again, you know, it shows me that I am sticking to a certain program, that if I don't get results, I can go back and I can see, okay, I did this on that day, this on that day, and it looks like it's gonna absolutely piss down now. There we go, it started raining. So the light might be a little bit shitty and you might just hear, well, that. Something I noticed as well today was, I don't know if it happens to only me or if it happens to other people or you out there, but I find sometimes when I start the first set, even though I go a little bit lighter on the first set, I sort of tend to feel stronger on the second and third set. Sometimes on the third set I'm able to do much heavier and then also more reps, which is kind of weird. It's probably going to thunder now. There we go. Yeah, I just find that very weird. Maybe it's adrenaline, maybe it's whatever, I don't know. It's just something I've noticed today and I thought I'd just mention that as well. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Shit, I haven't really thought about anything profound to say for today. Been such a rush. Oh, actually, before I do the whole profoundness, you know, the whole motivational ending, you know, holy crap, it's raining hard. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. You know, I don't know if my content gets seen and if people are just too lazy to comment or anything like that. But you know, I haven't really been getting dislikes. Been getting a few comments, but you know, I like to get some feedback. You know, whether there's some stuff that you don't like about what it is that I'm doing or what I'm talking about. You know, at the end of the day, it'll help me grow and it'll help me make better videos and talk about more interesting things and all of that stuff. And I mean, if you have any questions about how I do things, not that I'm an expert or anything, but you know, drop a comment below, give it a thumbs up, and then subscribe. It's about building community of like-minded individuals. Let's sort of do this together. As always, I'm Rue, and about 2 years ago, I was kind of in a very bad place in my life. There's only a few people that really know about it, but I had the opportunity to meet a certain individual by the name of Bobby Didier. And I know Bobby is going to watch this, and this is basically a thank you to Bobby. What started off as a business relationship grew into a really, really close friendship. And I actually went to go and visit Bobby in Toronto. My point is, being in the bad way that I was, Bobby recommended a book to me, and the book was called The 4 Agreements. And at first, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll get to it, whatever, etc., etc. And he kept on pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. It got to a point where I was just like, okay, well, I guess it was just the right time in my life to sort of read this book. I ended up not reading the book, but I ended up listening to the audiobooks. I listened to it a couple of times, and basically the whole principle behind the book, the 4 Agreements, and it's based on a Toltec sort of spiritualism, or whatever you want to call it. 4 principles the book is based on is 1, be impeccable with your words. In a nutshell, what that basically says and means is be careful what you say, especially when it comes to you. I know it's very easy to just say, damn it, I hate this, or I hate doing that. You don't really think about it, but at the end of the day, that shit affects you negatively without you actually realizing it. Be impeccable with your word talks about how you speak of others and how you speak to others. Whatever you put out there inevitably comes back to you. By being impeccable with your word is you being kind to yourself and you being kind to others by what you say and how you say things. The second one is don't take anything personal. Now, this is something that I still struggle with today. It really, really, really makes a difference. And I've gotten better. And when you stop taking things personal, your life just becomes so much easier. In the past, I still have a very big respect thing. If I greet somebody and somebody doesn't greet me back, I'm immediately pissed off because I take it personal. I think, who are you to not even say hello to me? You don't necessarily realize what's happening in that person's life in that moment, or at that time. That person could be going through something very difficult, and not everything revolves around you or me is basically what it's about. The third agreement is don't make any assumptions. This is a biggie. I think this is a very, very big thing for a lot of people. They say assume is making an ass out of you and me, and it's very, very true. I mean, I've been in many a situation where you assume something that's not even remotely the truth, and you end up causing such shit, and heartache, and you end up being unhappy and all of that stuff. So instead of assuming things, rather ask questions. Rather get the facts before making assumptions. And then the last one is a very simple one, but it's also a very powerful one, and I think a lot of people forget about this, is always do your best. No matter what you do, if you pack bags for a living, do that to the best of your ability. If you're practicing law, do that to the best of your ability. But everything that you do, do it to the best of your ability. I highly recommend getting this book. It's called The 4 Agreements. And the book is by a guy by the name of Don Miguel Ruiz, or whatever, however you say that. Go check it out.